All right, folks, welcome to Hunting the Rut Hotline with Don Bell. You've got questions tonight. We're going to share some answers with you. I'm Don Bell.
Hey, and I'm Steve Burklow.
And folks, tonight we're going to talk, and we're excited about coming back tonight, Steve. It's, believe it or not, it's already after Thanksgiving. All them folks out there is full of turkey, and you done slept it off, and it's time to talk tonight. And so we're fixing to talk about not only where you are out there, all you guys up there in the Midwest and the Northeast that's on the tail end of the peak of the rut, but hey, it's starting to get our turn down here in the Southeast a little bit. So folks, stay tuned. In just a moment, Steve and I are going to come back and we're going to talk to you about hunting the rut and the questions that you have live in just one moment. Be back in just 1 second.
Rise and shine. It's time to hunt.
Alrighty, folks, we're glad to have you back tonight. And guys, look, what we're going to do tonight is we want to take just a second and kind of remind all of our viewers, and we want you guys, we're live every Thursday night, Steve, at 7 o'clock Central Time. And guys, we want to remind you this is a 52-week show. We're not going to just be talking about hunting the rut as the season progresses, which we will, but Steve, we're going to be here every Thursday night. And you guys will, you don't quit thinking about deer just because season's gone out, and deer keep living and they keep progressing, and we're going to talk about that all the way through this season, all the way through spring and summer, and we're going to bring you full circle back to the rut in 2015. But what we wanted to do tonight is to kind of remind you of something, and I think you got a graphic fixing to come up on the show here, and the whole purpose of this show, Steve, is, you know, we do a lot of seminars around the country, and these are hunting the rut seminars, and where we talk about hunting pre-peak and post-rut. And if you can see up on your screen, you see this seminar, Steve, was in Vaden, Mississippi, a couple weeks ago. In fact, guys, it was the last one of the year, and that's the reason we're showing you this. We had around 400 people at this seminar, but the purpose of this show and the reason we're showing you that, not only was it the last one of 2014, and we do these all over the country, but you can't come to all of these. In other words, all these listeners in the north, Alabama, that was in Vaden, Mississippi, a small town over in south central Mississippi. So you couldn't be there. You can be there every week at 7 o'clock Thursday night here live. And what we do in these seminars, Steve, we do it's a 1 hour hunting the rut seminar. Then we open it up for questions. And so this show is about opening it up for questions. So we wanted to remind everybody about that, and that's the whole purpose of this show, is for you to ask questions. This show's built around you. Each week is always as relevant as the last question. And I believe we got us a caller fixing to come up here in just a second. And when we take these callers, guys, we're hearing them as you're hearing them. They're live. These are your fellow hunters asking questions that perhaps you want to ask. And if they're not, hey, pick the phone up, call us, call your friends, Facebook them, tell them to get online tonight to be able to participate in the show. And I believe, guys, do we have our first caller coming up? All right. Let's go to Steve. Let's take a Facebook question.
Right. Yeah, we got a Facebook from Jake Russell in Adams. Was that Wisconsin?
Adams, Wisconsin.
How far will a buck travel in search for does?
Jake, if you're talking about it really varies. I mean, they will travel. Or if you're talking about over like a mile distance, a buck's territory as a general rule is about a mile, but you know, depends on the terrain. But, and I hate to be generic with that, but really, Steve, it really varies. I mean, you know, down here where we hunt, as thick as it is, they ain't got to travel that far. But up there, where's he out of? Wisconsin. Yeah. You know, I mean, you guys up there in those dairy, I don't know what county you're in, but in the dairy.
With that.
Too. And it depends on how many does are in, how few it is, how hot the peak of the rut is, Jake, as to how far they will travel. If there's not that many does in and she's hot and he's big, he may just follow her right on over 3-4 blocks over, which could be over the Fallen Ridge over a quarter of a mile, half a mile from you.
Right.
But that's when they're cruising. If they're running them, then they're not going to be running them. They cruise further than they actually run the doe, because there's more does and they don't have to run them that far. They're more about trying to corral them, Jake, than long distance running. I believe we got us a caller.
Yep, got us a call.
All right, let's see who we got.
We got Quentin Smith from Bonifay, Florida.
Ooh, Bonifay, that's not that far from us here. Let's see who we got. Quentin, did you say?
Yeah.
All right, let's try that again. Tom, I think we lost him. All right, we'll see if Quentin calls back in, guys. We'll go to the next Facebook question.
All right, let's see. We got Tony Hilton from Jonesville, Michigan. How late in the season would you recommend me using Top Secret?
Michigan, guys, you want to use, and again, how late in the season? Tony, and I'm assuming that he's talking. Well, he may not even be let's say taking the peak of the rut. He could be talking the entire season.
He's talking entire season, first day of the season.
Well, yes. And so what you want to use late season, once you start, first of all, guys, once you start using buck urine, which is opening day of bow season. Steve, how long do they use it, buck urine?
The whole season.
The entire season. And the key to this is, Tony, once you start seeing bucks chase does, that's when you use your estrus, and then you keep using it, Tony, all the way to the end of season. Once they start using it, Steve, they want to use estrus all the way to the close of the season, because those bucks, those does that didn't get serviced, they're going to come back in.
Right.
And so you're going to have less of them. But you never quit using, Tony, never quit using the buck urine. Open day of bow season, all the way through gun season. All right, let's see here. I believe we got somebody back on the phone here. We'll try this again. Don Bell and Steve Burklow. Who we got? Did we lose you again?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, we got you now. Who we got?
This is Quentin Smith from Bonifay, Florida.
Well, Quentin, you're not that far from us, dog. You just down the road. Can you hear me okay? Quentin? All right, Quentin must be on a cell phone there. Quentin, can you hear us? All right, I tell you what, we'll try to get Quentin back on the phone then. All right, Steve, we got another caller? All right, let's go to another caller here.
Here we go.
All right, let's see who we got. You know, it is a live show. Don Bell, Steve Burklow, who you got?
Not that far from us, dog.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes, sir. You got Don Bell on the phone.
How you doing this evening?
Man, we're doing good. Who we got on the phone?
It's Larry Jackson. I spoke with you back a few weeks ago.
All right, Larry.
I remember. Yeah.
Larry, where you from?
I just calling to let you know these deals, I finally got the old buck I was after.
Did you?
I got him yesterday with Hot Mama scent from Top Secret.
Well,
and they're chasing just as good now as they were back in November.
Yeah, it's crazy, ain't it? Larry, what part of the world are you from?
I'm in southern West Virginia.
Southern West Virginia. That's right.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. I remember you calling in now. Well, that's good. Did you set up on him like we were talking about?
Yes, sir. I hadn't been sitting there about 15 minutes.
He's the one on the ridge.
Rattled a little bit, and about 10 or 15 minutes, he came right up out of the hollow, up onto the ridge line to me.
Larry, didn't you call in and you were at the end of the ridge and you had scrapes and stuff on one end?
Yes, sir.
I thought I remembered that.
You got some pictures of that big boy?
Yeah, you got us some pictures?
Yes, sir. I posted one of me and my son and him on your Facebook.
Mighty fine. We appreciate that a lot. We'll get that and put that bad boy up here. Well, look, Larry, and you used Hot Mama?
Yes, sir.
And
yes, sir. I freshened up a scrape Sunday night, and they'd absolutely tore it up. They tore that scrape up Tuesday night, and then I went in there yesterday evening and got him in about 45 minutes before dark.
Yep.
Great.
Yep.
All right.
And you were hunting scrapes, so and he come in a good hour, 45 minutes before dark, but he was working scrapes. You weren't on the field, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, shoot.
Yes, sir. Come right around to where the scrapes were at. I grunted and rattled a little bit, and he came right into me.
Well, did you use any buck urine?
Yes, sir. I had some hanging out.
Yeah, that's why your scrape got tore up. Yeah, they don't like that. Guys, everybody listening, Larry, the reason when you put that buck urine in, and the guys that's listening to us, you realize, I keep saying it's like coming in and smelling Old Spice. That's the reason, Larry, that scrape got tore up. And if you'd have kept putting it in there, it would have gotten wider and deeper. Because that's like coming home smelling Old Spice knowing you don't wear it. Now, the fact that you put that estrus in there, that pushed him over the edge. So, man, we appreciate you calling in. And listen, keep this up. Send us those. Well, you've already faced it. And Tom, listening, help us remember. We'll throw that up on Facebook tomorrow. Hey, we appreciate it, Larry.
I sure do appreciate you, and thank you for taking my call.
Hey, you bet. Listen, we appreciate you calling in too.
Yeah.
Keep us informed.
Okay. Y'all have a good Christmas.
Thank you, sir. Hey, thank you. You too.
Bye.
I thought I remembered him talking about that, but going down that ridge and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, we got us another call here. Let's see who we got here. Don Bell, Steve Berklow. Who we got?
This is Quentin Smith again.
Quentin, okay, baby, we got you. All right, you on a cell phone?
Yes, sir.
That's all right. Stay still. Put one foot up. What kind of question? What kind of question you got tonight?
Here in Northwest Florida, what's the best scent to use? And is buck still in groups? I've got a ton of pictures of them still.
Yeah, you will. And guys, everybody listening, Quentin's from North Florida. He's on the almost on the Alabama-Florida line. Yeah. You're just north of I-10. So, Montefi's north of I-10. Yeah, and you're hour east of Pensacola.
Yeah.
So, but yes, you will still see, and what's odd, you can see that Quentin here in North Florida and South Alabama. You can see that really even sometimes occasionally on into January, which is crazy. But less of that in the north, but every now and then you'll still see that here, is even this time of year. But you're seeing, how many are you seeing run together now? Are you seeing the same bucks?
Yes, for about 5 or 6.
Same bucks? Can you tell us the same bucks together?
Yes, sir. It's the same bucks every night.
Are they mostly young bucks or any big bucks in there?
Yeah, I've got 3 small bucks and 2 that's fairly well, an 8-point and a 10-point.
And the 8 and 10's running with them?
Yes, sir. Well, they slacked off. They're starting to
that 8 and 10's he's gonna get pretty tired of that foolishness here in just a little bit. They're gonna get serious with it and run them kids out of there and take care of a little business. Well, are you seeing any? Are you hunting scrapes?
Not yet.
Well, you hang in there, and I'm assuming, Quentin, I'm assuming you're using scent. Are you using any kind of deer scent?
Didn't he have another part of the question? Was it?
What was the second part of your question?
What would be the best scent to use here with the gun season coming in?
Yeah, you want always, and you guys hear you hear us preach this, and we're not just coming up with something to say here, folks. We're telling you, Quentin, every day you go in hunting wood, every day of the hunting season, what scent, Steve? Buck urine. You start with buck urine. Did you hear the caller before? Where we just had a caller before, Larry, I think it was,
Larry,
out of West Virginia. He called a couple of weeks back, and he was talking about he was having problems with these bucks on a ridge. Of course, everything in West Virginia is a ridge, but he had this long ridge and scrapes on one end, Steve, and he couldn't get. He saw activity, but he couldn't get anything. And so we told him to put the buck urine in, trail the buck urine in the ridge, and then once he starts chasing does, put the estrus out. He just called us and put it on our Facebook. The buck he killed, was it yesterday? Yesterday.
Yeah, 45 minutes before.
Oh, there he is right there.
Yeah, we got a picture of it right here.
That's a good buck. Let's see, can you even see that there? No, we'll have to get it posted on it. But this old boy just killed this buck yesterday. Yeah. And what we're saying to you is, Quentin, is that you want to use buck urine every day of the year. Once he starts chasing does, you want to keep using buck, but add estrus to it. Buck every day of the year, add estrus to it. That literally means, Quentin, season opens through archery season. every day you use buck urine. Do you grunt?
Usually I'll wait till
I know.
the does.
Well, let me tell you, grunting, you bow hunt?
Yes, sir.
All right, think about it now. You're up in a tree, you're just sitting there. You're only going to see the deer. You can only shoot the deer you see. Is that correct?
Right.
All right, now think about that just a second. Can't shoot what you don't see. You got all these Steves over here. He's walking down the ridge over here or through the gallberries down here or the palmettos down here where you hunt. And he's walking past you. You don't even know he's there. You can't see him. He doesn't know you're there. He doesn't know, you don't know he's there. If you grunt, what does that do to him, Steve? Downwind. So now he goes downwind. So now you'll get a chance for him to smell the scent to come in. So if you don't grunt, they're just walking past you. All grunting does is puts a deer downwind. Now it's better during the peak of the rut once he starts chasing does, because literally grunting, you're telling you what you're saying is another buck's tending a doe.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're doing is telling this buck another buck's tending his doe. This is an infringement. So when you use buck urine, just like Larry did up there in West Virginia, and you go to Facebook right now, and that's already on the Facebook because he posted it. Go look at this buck. He did exactly what we said 2 weeks ago. Yesterday, he killed this big buck. So, buck urine every day, Quentin, add estrus toward the peak of the rut. Make sense? No pun intended?
That makes sense to me.
Hey,
Sounds like a...
hey, kill him, send us a picture, try this. And even, look, if it don't work, call us. Tell us it don't work. And, this show's not just about the good things. We take good and bad. But if you listen to what we're talking about, as you see on these Facebooks and you hear these people, guys, think about it. These people are not calling, Steve.
Yeah, some big bucks.
They're recalling and telling us about the bugs.
Success stories, yeah.
They're telling us of what they've done. And concrete examples, and then you see them saying, hey, look what I killed by doing what you said.
Yeah.
It works all over the country. So look here, guys, we appreciate it. Quentin, keep us informed over in Bonifay. Kill us, old boy. Send us some pictures and call us back and tell us just like Larry did. All right?
All right, I will. I thank you for your time.
Hey, Quentin, tell everybody about the show and watch us each week.
All right.
All right, man. Thank you, sir. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break for a commercial. When we come back, we're going to do this bad boy all over again. Be back in just 1 minute.
Rise and shine. It's time to hunt.
Okay, guys, we're back live, and we're glad to have you back with us. And look, guys, pick the phone up, call somebody, let us hear from you, email us, Facebook us, call live. We're live. Tell all your friends to watch us. Call your questions in. You got questions, we got some answers. And hey, Steve, they're calling in with success stories. It's not just us talking.
Yeah.
They're listening, they're applying, and they're calling back and showing us the bucks that they're killing. I tell you what, Steve, let's take us another quick Facebook here.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Joey from Cedar Grove, Tennessee. All right, on average, how long does each stage of the rut last?
Joey, that's really going to depend on what part of the country. You're up in Tennessee. It really is going to, the further north you go, Joey, the more pronounced the peak of the rut is. Weather can have some variation on that the further south, and he's in Tennessee, and you're in that where it can affect that. Florida, Georgia, Alabama going due north. A little bit into Kentucky, but Kentucky kind of falls true back to the Midwest as a general rule. It's the breaking line. But Joey in Tennessee, there's no exact timeline of where it breaks, but I was just trying to think up there in Tennessee whether or not you would be, if you're talking about each stage of the rut, the pre-rut's going to be the longest. Peak of the rut, typically, Steve, is the next. But in some places, the post rut can be as long as the peak of the rut is, because it's a winding down, which actually takes longer. The peak being, if this is a mountain, the top of it's the pointest, it takes longer to climb up, and it takes longer to come down. So the longest is pre, peak, post, next longest as a general rule.
Right.
But that's not always the case. But Joy, that's most of the case, especially guys where he is in Tennessee south, down here all the way to we are.
Yeah.
Let's see, I believe we got us another caller.
Yep, we got a call here. We got, is this Leo?
Let's see who we got on here. It looks like it may be Leo Fry. Hey, Don Bell, Steve Burklow, who we got?
Hey, my name's Leon Fry. I'm from Rising Sun, Maryland.
All right, Leo.
All right.
Leo, how do you pronounce your last name?
Fye, F-Y-E.
Fry.
All right.
Man, we down here in the south, I thought it said fried there. We'd have some fried chicken.
Okay.
Rising Sun, Maryland, where's that at?
Oh, it's Cecil County. It's right at the peak of the Chesapeake Bay, at the very top of the Chesapeake Bay.
What's that town?
I'm about 40 miles from Baltimore.
South?
Yes.
Yeah. St. Mary? There's
Cecil County. I'm in Cecil County.
Yeah, no, I was trying to think of a dealer up there, but well, look, we're glad to have you tonight. What kind of question you got?
Well, I got a question. I was wondering what kind of physical attributes, or when you see a doe go into heat, or to know that she's going to be receptive, is there anything that you can tell by looking at her, if a buck's trailing her, that she's ready to receive? The reason I asked is because 2 weekends ago, I seen a doe. A buck was trailing a doe, and she was hot. She kept raising her tail, moving her tail to the side, slowing down for him, but just not letting him get in there. She kept running off.
Yeah.
I was just wondering because at that point, that was the 22nd of November. At that point, I said, "Oh man, that was the buck I've been hunting for the past 3 days." I said, "I'm not going to see him again. He's going to go in lockdown."
Well,
But
yeah. Well, to answer your question, you almost answered your question for yourself, and what that is when a buck's chasing a doe, if he's chasing her, the reason she's running is because she's coming in. She don't want to be fooled with. I mean, if she's just flat running, right? Now we come to this stage, Leon, Leon, what you're saying is the doe, was she kind of scooting, stopping and going, or was she still running and her tail twitching? Which one was it? Was she steadily running with her tail doing it, or was she kind of scooting, stopping and tail and then scooting?
now they were. She was moving away from him, but it seemed like she was tantalizing him with it.
Yeah. She was getting close. And as long as she's just flat running, she don't want to be fooled with.
Yeah.
But that tail twitching, that's getting close. Yeah. And if she's stopping and going, yeah. You can break open the wine, baby. You know what I'm saying? It's showtime. So, you bow hunting or gun hunting?
I was bow hunting. That was a week before gun season.
Mm-hmm.
And to finish my story, the reason I thought about that, I said, man, he's going to be locked down. I'm not going to see that guy. Strangest thing happened. That was at like 9:30 in the morning. 3:30 that afternoon, here he comes. He's by himself.
Yeah.
And luckily enough, he cut my hot mama drag I had out. As soon as he cut that drag, come right in, knocked him down. It was 180-some pound eight pointer.
Oh,
there you go.
Killed him. Okay.
All right, dog. You saved the best for last, didn't you?
Yeah. Okay.
You was teasing us like the doe was.
Well, what had me confused was I thought for sure that doe was going to have him locked down somewhere, and I wasn't going to see him again.
You know, and guys, Steve noticed in Leon, a lot of people use this word lockdown.
Right.
And
Yeah.
now I want you to think about this. How long a buck, let's take your buck. You seen him go off with a doe that was kind of flirting with him. I mean, she was flirting with him. And right, so she was ready. She knew, but she was just, you know the word. So what was happening is, so if that doe was ready, the actual breeding process there you are. He's on to something else.
Yeah.
So,
You may have.
yeah,
You may have spent the next 3 hours with her and then went off to a run.
that's right.
You know, the tail wagging, and not so much, the tail was going straight up in the air.
Yep.
And plus, there was a time I had binoculars on her. She would just move it to the side.
Yeah.
She would just move her tail to the side. And at that point right there, you know, I had seen another small buck mid-afternoon, like 1 o'clock, but he wasn't nowhere near the scent that was going on with those two up there. And I thought, I'm just not going to see that guy again.
Yep.
I might as well get down and go home.
Yeah, he took care of business when it was going on down the highway.
Yeah, and then he come across your hot mama
That's
and
right.
said, well, here's another doe.
Because exactly what happened.
Yeah.
What happens is when a buck's chasing a doe, what he's telling that doe, and I'm paraphrasing this obviously. Look, baby, look, I promise I'll quit smoking, I'll quit drinking, I'll quit. Hey man, I'll come home right after work, baby. You look, he's lying through his teeth. He's just trying to get her to stop. So once she stops, and it wouldn't matter if he said anything or not, Steve. Once she's in full estrus, tail twitching, you were close there, she's going to stop. He breeds. He's on about his business looking for another doe. So, but sometimes he'll stay with a doe. He may stay with that doe and chase that doe all day and all night. Literally lay down literally lay down
Yeah.
inside of each other. She moves, he moves. Yeah, but that's just because that doe, he caught her early. She's kind of thinking, and sometimes a doe just gets tired of running. Like I said here on the show before, I've actually seen a doe go into a push-up, Steve, just like a push-up, and go up in the, get up in the limbs and lay down to try to get away from the buck. Old buck lay down out here or walk around, and finally she'd get her breath, like old dog. She'd cut out running, and he'd chase again. So, well, look, man, we appreciate it. They're telling us we're bad about running over. But doggone you.
Pictures of that buck?
Hey, yeah, send us some pictures.
I already posted one on Facebook the 22nd, the night I killed him. I posted it.
Doggone it,
great.
man. Look at this stuff. I'm telling you guys. Hey, listen.
That's great.
When's the last day of your season?
Well, we're in gun season right now. Our gun season just started this Saturday. I got him the week before, praise the Lord.
What's your limit? What's your limit?
No, I can get another buck with the gun. But I'm going to go tomorrow, same place, probably about 150 yards from where I seen that guy, because I have seen another good one there.
All right, well, look here. You know the success rate on it, so go do it again and call us back.
Oh, definitely after it. Definitely after.
All right, man.
You guys listening to me.
Hey, Leon, we appreciate
Thanks,
you
Leon.
calling, man. We appreciate you trying top secret. Tell your friends about it. And guys, this is what this show's all about. It's about learning. Thank you, appreciate it. It's about people asking questions. And look, we're not just sitting here talking. Man, you see people applying.
Results, yeah.
That's his results. And then they're calling in telling us about what happened and how it happened. Is pretty neat. And that's what makes this show unique, is because, hey, it's about you. What your needs were, we're talking, and we're learning at the same time you calling and telling us. So, folks, we appreciate you doing
We're
that.
getting excited on the deer yard killing.
All right, I believe we're going to a quick Facebook.
Yeah.
All right, let's take another Facebook.
All right, we got Sean, looks like Sean Steffens from Paulina, Iowa. During the peak of the rut, would you suggest hunting field edges or in the timber?
Man, during the peak of the rut, whether you're in Iowa, and I'd like to see in Iowa, you ain't got that many timber stands in Iowa to go get up in. Once you cut the corn, them deer, they have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Them wood lots out there, what they call, they do the drain fields and they go to it. But once you get in the peak of the rut, dead peak of the rut, Steve, I like to get high, get in a good area where you can see. Let's see, was he talking?
He said hunting field edges or the timber.
Well, I was thinking if he's bow or gunning, but in either case, you want to get high where you can see, and because them does is going to bring them past you. You want to get, if I don't know if you're gun hunting or bow hunting, but either way, you got to be able to see. But but down here in the South, I like the edge of timber. I like transitions. I really do. But if they're running does, but if I'm hunting them scrapes now, I'm gonna back off of that field a couple 100 yards.
Yeah.
That way I got a chance to get him before it gets too dark. Let's see, guys. We got time for another Facebook? All right, let's grab us another Facebook.
We got Bill Kessler from Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin. All right, what is the best scent combination to use during post-rut?
During post-rut, guys, again, buck every day of the year. Post-rut, you use buck urine every day of the year.
Right.
Post-rut, you've got that winding down, peak of the rut. This is when most of the does are in. That's why it's the peak. As a post-rut, you got those does that didn't get bred or came in, didn't get bred, and those that hadn't come in yet comes back in over here. So you start with buck, end the season with estrus. Excuse me, let me correct myself. Start with buck, end the season with estrus and buck.
Yeah.
Never quit using buck, never quit using buck. You hear these success stories, and that's why. Start with buck. Once you start with estrus, keep using it all the way to the end of the season. Steve, it doesn't matter where you are in America.
Right.
You got a pre, a peak, and a post. That's going to be the same everywhere in the country. The product usage, the only difference is how long each one of those periods are. So buck every day of the year, do estrus. Guys, we got room for another Facebook?
All right. Let's see. We got Robert Paget. He's all the way over in Pace, Florida. And when using buck scent during pre-rut, would you suggest grunting or rattling?
Absolutely. Grunting. And he's over here in Pace. You know anywhere that is?
I think I've been there.
I think you do. Steve lives in
About
Pace.
44 years.
That's right. Now, I'm not sure. You know, Robert Paget, that sounds familiar. Do you know Robert?
Yeah. Good old boy.
So you want to grunt, Robert, just like the caller did before. I forget now where he was, Tennessee, I believe it was, where, he only wants to use the grunt during once he sees bucks chase does. Nah, you want to use buck urine every day, but you want to grunt too. Because deer will walk past you during pre-rut. Grunting just simply says another buck's there, he's going to go downwind. Now, during the peak, he becomes more aggressive because now you're grunting, tending a doe in his bedroom. So that's a no-no, so he goes downwind. But look here, Robert.
Yeah, I agree. I like the grunting, especially that pre-rut time.
And even here in North Florida. Now, rattling, not so much in North Florida, not that it can't be effective.
Right.
And I know we hunt up in central Alabama, up in the Black Belt, which is, good, some of the good hunting in the country. But even there, rattling is a hit and miss kind of deal. Really, you don't want to rattle, you just want to kind of tinkle the tines like that if you rattle at all down here in South Alabama or North Florida. But grunt, man, grunt. Every time you go in the woods, grunt. But you need buck urine with it.
Yeah.
Grunting without buck urine is you just grunt and you're putting him downwind and his nose overrides his ears, and you say this doesn't work because he can't smell what he's hearing.
Yeah.
So
And he's going to confirm that smell.
He's got to smell what he's hearing.
Yeah.
Guys, so let's see here. Robert, use your buck urine and grunt all the way through it. All right? Guys, what we got? All right, we will take a quick commercial break, guys, and when we come back, we'll do this thing all over again. Be back in just 1 second.
From Don Bell, the founder of Code Blue, comes Top Secret Reserve Doe Estrus, the finest doe estrus ever collected. Top Secret oxygen-free collection process is a complete generation above Code Blue. Our patent-pending collection process means no ammonia and no ammonia smell. At a limited quantity of 12,000 bottles, only 0.1% of hunters will be lucky enough to add Top Secret to their arsenal. Visit TopSecretDeerScent.com today and join the 1% Club.
Alrighty, guys, we're back. Listen, we want to take just a moment and thank our sponsor, Top Secret Deer Scent, and the 1% Club. Guys, you see this stuff behind us right here. That's not wine. You won't make that mistake but once. But folks, what this is called Reserve. This is the finest deer scent the industry has ever seen. It's called the 1% Club. Hey, you see it up on the screen here where it says the 1%. That is who sponsors the show, and we appreciate that sponsorship. And listen, tonight you can be a club member as well. There's 12,000 bottles of Reserve of estrus and less of that of what we call Reserve Buck. And the way you can be a club member, this bottle it's not inexpensive now, folks. It's $100 a pop. And you notice I didn't buff on that. It's $100 a pop. It's 26 ounces, Steve. And what's in this bottle? That urine in this bottle has never seen oxygen. It's from a single doe. never seen oxygen. We literally pulled the buck off the doe. So there's 26 ounces there. It comes to $3.85 an ounce.
That's a great deal.
It's the best this industry's ever seen. And if you want a bottle, you can be a club member. Right below you tonight on the screen, you'll see a button that says join the club now, the 1/10 of 1% club. You can hit that button and it'll take you to the website, and you can be a club member tonight. All you can do, you can hit it if you're still hunting. You've got 2 buttons. You can hit the first button that says, hey, I want it now. You buy it tonight, we ship it to you. The second button, Steve, is neat. We call it the over 4 pay. You literally can buy the bottle for 2015 tonight. So everybody's listening.
Yep, secure that bottle.
You can secure your bottle tonight by hitting that button, and it'll pay for it over 4 months. And you say, hey, Steve, Don, ship it to us, ship it to me November next year, October, December, January. So you literally can secure your bottle today by hitting the website, do a 4 pay, and folks, it makes a great what?
Hey, it makes a great Christmas present.
Great Christmas present. You want to know, hey, guys, you want to tell mama, you know what you want for Christmas, and I'm serious with this, 12,000 bottles.
Yeah. We're
going to start next Tuesday. We'll roll out for the show next Thursday what we call open enrollment. This is so popular that this is the way we're going to do this every year. In the month of December, we will have what we call open enrollment, Steve. Mm-hmm. And so that starts next week. So all you club members, you need to get ahead of that, and you can start opening and hitting the club, ordering your bottle for next year, and all the ones that's not club members can be a club member tonight, Steve. All you got to do, hit that button. I want it over 4 payments, and say ship it next year. You can be a club member too. You can participate in new product development. They can participate in webinars. You get to be guests on the show, as other club members have. And more importantly, it guarantees you that you're going to get a bottle for 2015. So folks, hit that site. If you have any questions, you can call customer service, and we'll be glad to take care of you. Hey, join the 1/10 of 1% club that's sponsored by Top Secret. Guys, we appreciate it. I think we're fixing to go to another telephone call.
Another call here?
All righty here. Let's see who we got. We got us another caller?
Yeah,
we do.
Travis, looks like.
Where's
New Hampshire.
All righty, you got Don Bell and Steve Burklow. Who we got?
You got Travis Kilroy.
Travis Kilroy.
We talked to Travis, didn't we?
Travis, have we talked to you before?
Yes.
I thought I saw that Wakefield, New Hampshire. Well, all righty, tonight we get to talk to some folks. All right, Big Travis, what's your question tonight?
I have a couple. My first one is, what is the best hunting method? Is it hunting from the ground or hunting from a tree? What's the best method?
Really, Steve?
Well,
I mean, yeah.
If it's for me and I'm bow hunt only, man, I'm going to tell you, I'd rather be in a tree 99 times out of 100.
Yeah, I mean, if you can elevate, you know, deer are used to just walking and looking ahead of them, not up. Of course, pressure can make them look up real quick. But, you know, it really depends on where you are. Did you say bow hunting or gun?
Right now it's gun, and that ends on the 7th of December.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not scared to hunt. Are you rifle or shotgun? New Hampshire shotgun. Slug only.
Yeah.
No scope, right?
Nope.
Okay. I mean, I'm not scared to hunt on the ground. But if you can elevate,
She's got that advantage.
you got the advantage of being elevated. Do you hunt from a tree stand?
I have a couple.
Yeah. But you know, it really depends on, Travis, your topography, how much pressure you got. And the reason I think about this is, you know, sometimes you can just take a natural blind, you know, and do it up. It really depends on how far it is you think you're going to get a shot. Man, I know it's going to sound stupid. It's going to show my redneck in me. I've even dug holes. I'm not lying to you. You ought to try that turkey hunting too. You literally dug a hole. And but it was already there, and I thought, man, ain't no tree, you know, nowhere to get. Man, I got me a shovel and dug me a hole out. Because you're just trying to secure yourself, that's all you're doing. But even with that, you're ground level.
Yeah.
So elevation probably be the first choice of most hunters, Travis.
Yeah.
Just depends. I mean, I've killed deer off the ground.
Yeah.
You know, killed my share of deer off the ground. But elevation would be your best choice as a general rule. Do you have much pressure? where you're hunting?
Yeah, it was quite a bit.
Yeah, then you definitely would probably want to be elevated.
Yeah. I mean, if, you know, take all that kind of stuff in, and you know, and if you're not sure of height, you don't like height and stuff, you want to be where you're comfortable. Because if you're not comfortable, you're gonna let deer get past you.
Yeah.
I believe you said you had a second part of another question.
Yeah. My second question is, deer have seemed to change their pattern from earlier in the season. What should I do to find them?
Do deer change their pattern as season? Yes. Yes, they can, and yes, they do. And watch this, but not always. Whitetail, Steve, are very habitual.
Yeah.
They're just as, and what I mean by that is, they're going to do the same thing. They're very, very predictable.
Get in the routine, yep.
They're in a routine. They're on them trails, and till pressure makes them get off that trail. You're in New Hampshire. Have you ever jumped a buck, Travis? You know, Steve, how you can jump one in a clear cut and he'll run off out there? You know, we grew up here in South Alabama, and we used to hunt with a shotgun on our back, a rifle on the back and a shotgun. And we'd walk through clear cuts and jump them. Well, the buck could slip out and go up out there on the ridge, and that sapsucker, he got so far, you know what he'd do? He'd stop and he'd look back. Now, why would he do that? Because bucks are lazy. And I keep telling people that, and they look at me like I'm crazy. An animal's only going to go as far as he needs to, or he'd keep running forever. He's going to go as far as he thinks he's out of danger. He's going to stop, and he's going to check it.
A lot of times
That's what the rifle. That's right. That's what the rifle on the back was for. Because once we saw him, you put the shotgun down, pull the rifle up, watch him go up the side of the ridge. But as a general rule, those bucks, pressure is going to make them change. But as soon as that pressure leaves, Steve, they're going to come right back into a routine.
Right. No pressure, and they're likely to stay just like
right there. Yeah, why
they're not
change?
gonna change?
Right.
Yeah.
There's no reason. So pressure is always a main thing to think about, Travis. If you got a lot of pressure, and you say you do, then start looking back toward thickets, because pressure is going to make them big bucks go as thick as they can get.
Right.
Okay. Because I've walked in our woods, we haven't seen a single deer print.
You haven't?
Yeah, and that's pressure will drive that. Yeah.
Or you're not seeing any tracks?
No, I'm not seeing any tracks where they used to be, but now they're further. We found deer tracks further back in the woods.
There you are. Pressure, what they're doing, is that back toward thicker stuff?
Yeah, it's definitely back towards thicker stuff.
They're not going to venture far from that thicket.
That's right.
To stay, because they know.
And the big bucks, like Steve's talking about, what he's saying is that pressure is going to put them in the thicker stuff, and the big bucks will start wanting to be more nocturnal, moving out. The way you work with that is use your buck urine, putting it in at the same time every day, because Top Secret is oxygen free. So when Travis puts it out at the same time every day, he hits it at night, and you put it out the next morning at the same time. The closer he comes to it, the fresher it is, which means his nose will bring him out of the thickness at the same time, because he's trying to catch that buck that's in his bedroom. So
when is a rut in New Hampshire, dog?
With the peak of the rut, when do you start seeing does up there in New Hampshire? When do you start seeing bucks chase does?
I haven't seen any, but I know the rut starts coming, the bull rut starts coming towards the end of the rifle season.
Yeah, you ought to be getting close to that up there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You ought to be getting in your heyday there. So do you use deer scent?
Yeah, that may draw them.
Yeah, I use Code Blue.
Well, look, let me tell you, I don't know if you know, but I started, invented the the Code Blue. And what Top Secret is, it's single no oxygen. And so what this is the top of the line. This has never seen oxygen. Dark urine says a deer was there. Clear yellow urine says a deer is there. So the first time you open this bottle, I don't know if you can see that right there, but or if you can see that, you see how yellow that is? That's never seen oxygen. When you open that, it's just like she urinates. So this is the first time it ever sees oxygen. The industry's never seen anything like this. Look, if you like Code Blue, you're going to be ecstatic about Top Secret. And you can hit the website there and get you some, or you can go to your nearest store, and they have it. If they don't, tell them they need to take it. And what's that like old Fox News? If they ain't got it, demand it, and they'll carry it for you.
That's right.
So, Travis, look, we appreciate you calling in, and keep us informed now. If they're going further back, get you some scent, get you some top secret, and hear these other callers. You hear what they're saying, how they did what we told them to do.
Yes.
Get you some buck urine, some estrus. Steve's right. You need to be starting to use estrus now.
Yeah.
Use it all the way to the end of the season. And if you haven't got a dealer that carries Top Secret, you can hit topsecretdeerscent.com and you can be able to get it, and we'll send it to you.
Yeah.
Hey, Travis, we appreciate you calling in. Let us know what happens.
All right, well, thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. I think
Got
we're
another caller, Donna.
fixing to go to another caller here. We're
Yeah.
wide open now.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Did I lose him there, guys? All right, we'll take us a quick Facebook. We got
Get
him?
him back.
All right.
Take us a Facebook.
Yeah, they'll come back to him, all right? Let's take a quick Facebook.
All right, we got Chris Montet from Martinsville, Louisiana.
Oh, we got to stop.
There he is.
They
We'll
got him
hold
back.
up.
All right. Oh, Chris, you'll have to wait just a second. Guys, it's live, dog. Hang on. All right. I think we keep losing him right there. Must be another cell phone, guys. All right, let's go back to our Facebook question.
All right, it says, what deer scent would you use in southern Louisiana right now? Any suggestions? A lot of suggestions.
Yeah, a lot of suggestions. Southern Louisiana, he's like us in South Alabama, North Florida here. Chris, what you want to be using is buck urine right now.
Right now, every time.
And yep, buck urine right now. And we're going to come back to you in just a second and take this live caller, guys. Hey, Chris, take buck urine and use estrus all the way through the season. We're having a time with him, aren't we, folks? All right.
Yeah.
Chris, here's the way you do it. What you want to do is to use that buck urine all the way to the end of the season. And look, Southern Louisiana, great place to hunt. We know he's probably bow hunting. Buck and Chris, estrus all the way to the end of the season.
Them does start chasing
Let's
that
see.
estrus.
Let's see if we can take us another quick Facebook here, guys.
Yeah. Lisa Thompson from Daniels, West Virginia. What's the best deer scent to use if I've been hunting the rut and have only seen does?
Back here in West Virginia again. Lisa, same thing. Guys, you want to be able to use, and we preach it. I know it sounds like these callers, we just have the same patent answer, but it's the truth. Guys, it's the truth. Buck urine. Opening day of bow season. Most people are hung on estrus. Buck urine every day of the season. Add the estrus, Lisa, once he starts chasing the does. Okay,
Yeah.
we're fixing to go back.
There's that caller.
We're going to see if we can snag this
We
old
got
boy
it.
right here. All right, we keep losing that particular caller, guys. All right. All right, we're going to go back to our Facebook here again. All right, we're having a time with him.
All right, we got, let's see, Russell Dahlgren from Toms River, New Jersey. What is the best way to set up scent? Tree wicks, pour it on the ground, cotton balls. Any suggestions?
I'm so glad you pronounced his last name. All right, Russell, New Jersey. Did you know New Jersey is the most densely populated state in America?
I did not know that.
And it's densely populated, and they know it is. Many people's up there, they still got a mess load of deer up there. What's the best way to do a scent setup? You know, Steve, I trail it in.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody knows that when you put a scent drag in, the scent's stronger where you started out. So what fixes that?
Buck foam, and the foam is really good for that.
We have foam. This allows you, Russell, to be able to just walk along, foam it. Just foam it as you walk here, 15, 20 yards, just foam it on the ground. And, all right, guys, now wait a minute. We're going to try this guy one more time. And if not, we'll go back to our Facebook. All right, let's see if we can get him, guys. All right, we're gonna go to another call with him because we keep losing him. So let's go back to Russell. So your setup, I like to trail it in.
Yeah.
I get away from my vehicle, trail in, and then I, like he's talking about, Steve, where he's talking about using the tree wicks.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be careful with that. And in that, what they'll do, you know, guys, how you use the, and I'm not sure if Russell does this, but if this is a film canister, what they'll do is they'll put cotton in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's go hunting. You put urine in there this morning. Well, as soon as the urine hits oxygen, it starts ammoniating.
Mm-hmm.
And then what they'll do is that afternoon, they'll come back and they leave this in the tree and they take urine and they pour it back on it. Well, what you just did is you put good urine on bad urine. Now, if it's not top secret, the urine you're pouring in is already brown. And what does that mean?
It's already ammoniated.
It's ammoniated, which means a deer was there. He's not there now. The difference in top secret is oxygen free. You see how yellow that is? And so what this is oxygen free. So now then, this morning, just happened to have a little something there. You take that, you put your cotton in, you pour, first time it sees oxygen, you open it, you pour it in. Now it says a deer's there now because this is the first time it hits oxygen, Steve. You close this up or you put it in your scent saver, pump it out, no oxygen. Now this, you're ready to hunt. If you come back this afternoon, let's say you leave at 10 o'clock in the morning, come back at 4 o'clock this afternoon to hunt, and you open this bottle and you pour it on top of that, that's already been ammoniated 6 hours.
Yeah.
So that was a deer that was there 6 hours ago. So what you want to do is to take that cotton out, put fresh cotton in, put fresh urine in.
Right.
Change it every time you go out. That way you're always saying a deer is there now, not a deer was there 4 hours ago. If you use anybody else's scent, Steve,
it says the deer was there.
anybody else's scent, guys, listen, take the top secret challenge. What color is the scent that you open when you, I don't care whose it is, when you open, what color is it?
Dark.
It's dark. It's brown because it's ammoniated, which means it's not, it can be a day old, it can be 6 months old, it can be 2-3 years old. So when you put it out, you've already got ammoniated urine, which tells a deer's not there now, he was there. Top secret, when you put it out, says a deer's there now. That's the reason you change this out each time you go. That way you always have fresh cotton with scent on it that says a deer's there right that moment.
You know it's not ammoniated.
That's right.
It's fresh.
It's not ammonia. It says that old boy's there right now while you're there.
Yeah.
That's what top secret is changing the industry. That's the reason you see all these bucks being posted to Facebook.
Yeah.
These people calling in, Steve, because they're using urine that's fresh that says the deer is there while they're there. I assure you, Leon up there in Rising Sun, Maryland, that just called, he's out there in cold weather. He don't want to tell a deer he was there 2 days ago.
No.
He wants to say a deer's there now. And top secret's the way to do that. It's not complicated. Single urine, no oxygen. First time it sees oxygen is when you open the bottle. That says a deer's there now. That's how you have success. Let's see, guys, we got time for another Facebook?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's knock it out.
All right, we got Andrew Dover from Clover, South Carolina. Can you use too much deer scent in an area? Why or why not?
Steve, you can't.
Yeah.
Guys, look, I know it sounds dumb. The reason that, and Andrew, that's a good question. I get that asked to me a lot in seminars around the country. And the reason for it is, look, that's 3 ounces. That's $14.95. By the way, that's $5 an ounce. Top Secret's $12.95 an ounce. Tink's is $10 an ounce. That's $5 an ounce. That's 3 full ounces for $14.95. Never seen oxygen. So just a complete generation above everybody else in the industry. Now, having said that, if you poured that entire bottle out, you didn't pour it out too much. Not that we don't want you to. I mean, in fact, we kind of like for you to pour the whole bottle out. But you don't need to do that. Rule of thumb, Andrew, if they can smell it, if you can smell it, he can smell it what? Great. If you can smell it good, he can smell it great. But it's not going to hurt you to pour the whole bottle out. And the reason for that, think about it. A deer will urinate multiple ounces at the same time. Then when I say that, the next question, Steve, they want to know, well, how much urine do they urinate each time? And my answer to that is, how much do you urinate each time?
Yeah.
What's the variable when you go to the restroom? The amount of fluids you got, how old you are, you know, how long it's been, weather. All of those things contribute, but the number one thing is how much intake of fluids, water that they have in order to do it. So sometimes, you know, it's like a horse or a cow. You think, my Lord, are they ever going to stop? Same way with deer. There's no exact amount each time. So it'll surprise you how much can come out. So no, you can't put too much. I mean, you poured a 55-gallon drum out, you may want to think about it, but that wouldn't be the problem you got anyway. If you poured a 55-gallon drum of deer urine out. All right, let's take one more quick Facebook here.
All right, we got Michael Knapp from Toledo region. I'm new to hunting. In a nutshell, can you give me a general idea of how people have success hunting the rut?
Yes, sir, Michael. Hunt often, stay long. Well, Michael, that's a big question. That's a big open question, and let me tell you, that answer is not in a 6-minute segment.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, you've asked a good question, because the number one thing that helps people in life, period. My dad had a 5th grade education, and he told me often, and I've told my kids this, is that it's just as important to learn how not to do something as it is to learn how to do it. And so there's no such thing as a dumb question. And if you listen to everybody calling in, you're talking about people, Steve, calling in that's got some phenomenal bucks on the wall.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's killed, that's got booked deer on the wall, that's calling in asking questions. And because deer are fascinating animals, and you'll spend, Michael, your entire life in the pursuit of this whitetail, because it's just that, it's a pursuit.
Yeah.
And you can hunt the same buck, and he may do different things based off of pressure.
Yeah.
Just like the boy said a few minutes ago, Steve.
Right.
You hunt him this way, and then just like he said, he started saying, what was it, New Hampshire?
Yeah.
Where he said the buck started getting back into thick stuff. So we asked that, and he said yes. And the reason that pressure put him in there.
Right.
So, you know,
you want to hunt that rut,
Yeah.
specifically because that's where you're going to see those bucks that typically you might not see because they're going to be moving, chasing them does. So,
you know, you see,
Definitely.
how long you been hunting?
for 30 years,
Yeah, and you learn stuff every day, don't you? Hey,
all the time.
Don't you learn stuff just by sitting here in this show?
Oh, absolutely.
And because we hear you guys and we think, hey, that's pretty neat, you know, and you hear us quote somebody else on the show because we learn stuff here too. It's not all about we're the great authorities and the great big whitetail hunters. We're sitting here sharing with you stuff that works for us and has for us. And being in the scent industry for nearly 30 years, we got some insights to that on why a deer does what they do. But Michael, this show will help you. And listen to the questions that the hunters are asking. Listen to our answer, and then listen to them come back to us a week, 2 weeks later and say, hey, look at this deer I killed in New Hampshire. Look at this deer I killed in Wisconsin or
Toledo.
Iowa or Toledo. That's exactly right. So, you know, and feel free. Facebook us, call us in. What we're excited about is that you're hunting.
That's right.
And the first thing you got to do is to hunt it.
And you're going to love it.
You're going to love it. You're going to get hooked on it. And it is a lifelong pursuit. It really is, because what you're doing, Michael, in a nutshell here, and they're doing the wrap up to us in there. But hunting, Steve, it's a tradition. And guys, we're at the top we as hunters, we're at the top of the food chain. And we're doing something that's God given to us. And
Okay.
I think they're going to try to squeeze that last caller in.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
All right, guys. So, Michael, stay with it and listen to the show and call us each week. You see how persistent they are trying to call in? Let's see if we can get this guy, the last guy. All righty. I think we got you. Don Bell, and you got Steve Burklow. What's your question?
Hello, Don. My name's Kevin Wycombe. I'm calling you from Georgia.
All righty.
All right.
And first want to tell you that I'm a new customer of yours, and I used your product this year and shot a 7-plan on opening day.
There you are.
Awesome.
What part of Georgia you in?
Jasper County, right down around the middle of the state.
All right.
Wonderful.
Kind of toward the east, down around Monticello.
All right. You bow hunting or gun hunting?
I was gun hunting on opening day.
But buck urine or estrus?
I was using both.
Okay. All right.
Great.
Man, that's great.
And it was great. That's why I'm calling you. Okay. little confused.
All right.
Watching your show, it seems like you pretty much follow the rut through the country from the west down to your part of the country, into Florida, and you talk about your rut down in Alabama,
Right.
Mississippi area, being around
Late-
January.
Yeah, right.
End of
All right,
January.
well, around here there's this idea that the peak of our rut is right around Thanksgiving.
Yeah. You know why that is? It's a really, you guys have kind of a phenomenon, and it stemmed back in the 50s. Do you know where Real Tree is over there? If you go to the Alabama, what is it, Steve? Right across the line from, where Real Tree is located over in Georgia, Columbus. If you were to go to Columbus along the Alabama line there, back during the 50s, they moved some deer out of the Midwest. And in fact, I think they came out of Wisconsin. Some of them might have come out of Minnesota. And they brought a strain, that Midwestern strain deer down over into Georgia, not into Alabama. And it's really crazy. You can go, Steve, on that line around Columbus over there into Georgia, and you'll see deer come in, does come into the peak of the rut over there, like you said.
2 months before.
Yeah,
ours.
almost like the Midwest, mid-November up to Thanksgiving. And that's kind of unique down here in the South in that there's a pocket there in central Georgia there, and that's one of the reasons for that. Is that what part, are you central east or dead central west, Georgia?
Central west. Actually, I'm sorry, central, this would be more central east.
Are you east, you east of Atlanta?
We're above Columbus, probably an hour or so.
Yeah, you're still in that western part. You're west of Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're.
Sorry, actually, no. Actually, I am just a little southeast of Atlanta.
Okay. Yeah, you're in that pocket. And see, now think about it. That pocket was in the 50s, and so you've had that expansion of that kind of like a blowing a balloon up, and it just kind of expanded in central Georgia there. And I tell you something else you may not know. And I don't know if you know this. Do you know where the biggest buck in America has ever been killed, weight-wise? Georgia. The biggest buck killed by weight come out of Georgia.
Wow.
How about that now?
Well, my understanding is, and this is the
about 400 pounds.
This particular property, is that we've got some big bucks on there. But what has got me kind of confused a little bit this year is that I've been hunting since end of bow season through primitive weapons and now into rifle season, and I am yet to see any scrapes.
Yeah.
Okay? And it's like
What's your?
several of the people I've talked to, it's like, you know, the deer are out of the country. I mean, they're just not a, you know, I don't know.
Right now, that's happening right now. That's happening right now to you.
Yes.
Yeah. We've got the same kind of phenomenon over here in Alabama. Around Christmas time, really the month of December. Now watch this.
The whole month, yeah.
Old Big Dog right here, he don't hunt on just a good piece of property. That sapsucker has got a great piece of property. Now watch this. You couldn't ask for a better answer to this. This man has got a great piece of property over there in Wilcox County, Alabama, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tell him what you did to your daughter sitting right over there last weekend.
Yeah, she killed a half an 8-point, I call that.
And why did you do that? Because what was doing on the deer on your property? They weren't moving.
We wouldn't see it. I mean, we didn't see a deer, and typically we'll see a lot of deer.
You'll see a lot of track, a lot of activity where they were, but you're just not seeing the deer. And sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
And that started happening in Alabama about 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's just gotten progressive. In fact, you hear people call in talking about how a buck a lockdown. They're talking about when he's with a doe. We, on the other hand, when you say that's the first thing I think about is in December where they just shut down. And it's a phenomenon that's really known here in Alabama. So, and I'd love to give you an answer for that. But if you did, there's 228,000 hunters in Alabama would love to know the answer to that, and I'm one of them. So,
absolutely.
But look, man, we appreciate you calling in, and keep us informed. Call us back. Let us know what happens.
Yeah.
All right, Doc. I appreciate it.
Hey, guys, appreciate it. Thank you so much for calling. Tell your friends to watch us each week.
Sure will.
Hey, man, thank you. You have a Merry Christmas.
You too, Don.
All right, thank you, sir. Steve, it's amazing how quick an hour goes by.
Man, I'm telling you.
It is, guys. And listen, listen, we don't apologize. This is a live show. And sometimes we get them when they call in. Sometimes we have tech problems. You see it's real, Steve.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. And guys, listen, we're going to be here next Thursday night at 7 o'clock,
Yep.
as we are each week at 7 o'clock. And hey, you got questions, Steve and I are going to have some answers.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk to you next week. But hey, as they're playing the music for us to get out of here and doing this, next week, make plans, call us. Guys, next Thursday, open enrollment on the 1/10 of 1% Club. You'll see it hit Facebook, and when it does, it's on, guys. Those 12,000 bottles are going to come back outside of the club members, and you'll get a chance to get yours starting next Thursday night, or you can actually start tonight, but open enrollment starts next week. So, folks, look, we appreciate you calling in. We'll talk to you next Thursday night at what time?
7 o'clock.
7
Central
o'clock,
Time.
and we'll see you then, guys, next Thursday night. Appreciate you calling in.